Teyana Taylor has spoken, and the internet is buzzing. The headlines are everywhere. A judge has ordered her to pay $70,000 to her ex-husband, former NBA player Iman Shumpert, after finding her in contempt of court. That number, $70,000, has lit up social media timelines, gossip blogs, and fan pages. But the money is only part of the story. What's really making waves is the way Teyana herself has responded to the ruling. Instead of backing down, instead of showing embarrassment, she's leaning into the controversy and defiantly declaring that the payout was, in her own words, the best little coin I ever spent. This latest chapter is just one moment in a saga that has stretched for years, a rollercoaster ride of love, fame, betrayal, and public unraveling. To really understand the weight of this $70,000 judgment and why it matters so much, we need to rewind. We need to go back to the beginning of Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert, the couple once celebrated as hip-hop royalty, the duo fans called relationship goals, and the family that seemed unshakable. Teyana and Iman's story began in the public eye in the early 2010s. Teyana, a rising star in music, dance, and fashion, had been carving out a reputation as a fearless performer with undeniable charisma. Meanwhile, Iman was a rising talent in the NBA, a player known not only for his defensive skills on the court but also for his style and presence off of it. When the two came together, it was electric. Their relationship played out across red carpets, music videos, and eventually reality television, where fans got an intimate glimpse into their dynamic. They married in 2016, and for years, they presented a united front, a glamorous couple raising their daughters Junie and Rue while balancing fame into very different industries. But behind the perfectly curated images, cracks were forming. Rumors swirled, whispers grew louder, and by January 2023, the separation became official, with Teyana filing for divorce quietly at first, trying to shield her family from the chaos. By September of that year, the public knew the truth. The marriage was over. And with that announcement came a wave of accusations. Teyana claimed that Iman had been emotionally abusive, cruel, and jealous as her career skyrocketed. For his part, Iman denied the allegations, presenting himself as a man blindsided and hurt. The legal battle that followed was not a clean break. It was a fight, one that played out in sealed documents, Instagram lives, court filings, and whispers in the press. By mid-2024, their divorce was finalized with a confidentiality agreement attached, meaning neither side was allowed to speak publicly about the terms. For a while, it seemed as though the dust had settled. But then came March of this year. On Instagram, Teyana posted a video, emotional, fiery, and unapologetic. She didn't lay out every detail of the settlement, but she hinted enough, addressed enough, that Iman and his lawyers pounced. They argued that she had broken the confidentiality clause. And this summer, a Georgia court agreed. The ruling was clear. She had violated the agreement, and as punishment, she was ordered to pay Iman's legal fees, $70,000 in total. Now, for most people, being hit with that kind of penalty would be a painful setback. But not for Teyana. Sitting down for an interview, she brushed it off with bravado, calling the fine a small prize for her freedom. She framed it as a victory of spirit, declaring that peace of mind is worth far more than money. She accused Iman of orchestrating smear campaigns, of timing leaks to coincide with her professional wins, and of trying to silence her voice. Her words carried both exhaustion and fire. Every time something amazing is happening in my life, here comes another distraction. I'll never let anybody silence me. Her defiance struck a chord. Fans flooded social media with support, praising her strength, applauding her refusal to bow down. Hashtags trended. Memes spread. Some saw her as the ultimate example of taking control of the narrative, refusing to be boxed in by legal language or courtroom rulings. But not everyone agreed. Critics argued that she brought the penalty on herself, that the judge was right to enforce the confidentiality clause, and that this was less about silencing and more about accountability. And then, of course, there were those who took Iman's side, painting him as the victim of unfair character attacks. What makes this case so fascinating is not just the money or the ruling. It's the clash of image and reality. For years, Teyana and Iman sold fans a fairy tale. They were beautiful, successful, young, and in love. They starred in music videos together, collaborated on creative projects, and smiled for cameras. But the collapse of that image has been messy, raw, and brutally public. The $70,000 is just a symbol. It represents the fallout of trust, the consequences of mixing fame with family, and the price of speaking out when the law says you can't. As the dust continues to settle, both stars are moving forward. Teyana is pouring herself into her music, her acting, and her business ventures, determined to show the world that no ruling can dim her shine. Iman, meanwhile, has remained quieter but is also charting his own path beyond the NBA, dabbling in music and entertainment, and trying to rebuild his image. The two are forever linked by their daughters, by their past, and now by this very public courtroom drama that fans will never forget. And so the question lingers, was this really about $70,000? Or was it about control, image, and the right to tell your own story? For Teyana Taylor, the answer is clear. The money doesn't matter. The freedom does. And for the rest of us, watching from the outside, it's a reminder that even the most glamorous love stories can turn into legal nightmares once the cameras stop rolling. What do you think? Was the court too harsh? Or did Teyana play with fire knowing there would be consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get into it. And make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.